Hello, I'm Mr. Buffum, and I'm going to be teaching you how to take the concussion vital signs test. To start off with, you should go to concussionvitalsigns.com. If your website does not look like this, please raise your hand because you are on the wrong website. Then please click Athlete Testing. You will need to put in your password as provided by one of the students, Mr. Holliday or Mr. Buffum. Once you have your username and password entered, click Athlete Assessment Login and it will open up a new system. Your athlete ID is your first initial, J for me, last name, Buffum, and your graduation year. So if I am a senior, it would be 25. If I am a junior, it would be 26. Makes sense? So I'm going to put 26, and we want to make sure we know exactly what that is because we're going to have to put it in exactly the same way again. So what is mine? J. Buffum, 26. Okay. Birthday, make sure you put it in correctly. This is not my birth date. Your full name is not optional. Make sure you put in your full name. This is a baseline assessment, concussion vital signs, athlete information, and medical history. You are supervised by an athletic trainer, and you're a group of 16 or more at this time. If you are in a smaller group, please make adjustments. At this point, it'll ask you, do you want this in English or Spanish? Si te necesitas en español, English. I'm going to keep mine in English, and okay. It'll start the first test. The first test is a verbal memory test. Press enter to continue after you finish reading. I will now proceed to go through each one of these tests, giving you a quick review of what they do. First test, it asks you to memorize words. Remember this word. Now that you've memorized those words, when you push enter, you need to push the space bar when it's one of your words. The space bar. If this is one of my words, I push the space bar. The next test is visual memory. So it will give you shapes that you need to remember. Shapes to remember. Remember these shapes. Now in the same way, it will give you your shapes and you need to push the space bar when it's one of your shapes. Space bar. The next test is the finger tapping test. Your goal is to push as fast as you can on the space bar with your index finger. This is your index finger. It is your one that you point with. Please don't do all of them or hit hard. You will fail. It also measures how fast you stop, so make sure you do it correctly. For the second round, you will use your left index finger. This is your left index finger. So we will now be tapping with our left index finger as fast as we can until we see a stop. The next test is the symbol digit coding test. You will have a test grid and an answer grid. For each one, you'll have an answer grid and a test grid. So for example, this is a plus and a minus sign, which is equivalent to a 6. We push the 6, and that's good. If I push the wrong one, it'll say, no, that is incorrect. Now I have to push the 2 to make sure it is correct. You go as fast as you can. The next test is the Stroop test. Be aware that for the first part of the Stroop test, you push the space bar as soon as you see a word displayed. So for example, word, push the space bar. As fast as you can. For the second part of the Stroop test, it's when the color of the word matches the name. So for example, that is yellow, and it is yellow. That is blue, and it's blue. That does not match. We do not. No. No. Yes. The final section of the Stroop test is when the color does not match. So they don't match. For example, that is green. That is not. After you've finished the Stroop test, you have the shifting attention test. The shifting attention test will have you match color or shape. This color is red, so we use the left arrow key. Match color, left arrow key. Match color, right arrow key. Match color, right arrow key. Match shape. This is a rectangle. We go to rectangle. The last test that is new for you is called the continuous performance test. When you see the letter B, B as in Buffum, you push the space bar. That's an R. Buffum. Buffum. Remember, it's always B. B as in Buffum. Don't push the other letters. For the final two tests, it is the same words from the beginning. So from the very beginning, the words that you had to remember, is this one of the words? If so, push the space bar. Same thing for the visual memory. If this is one of the shapes you were asked to remember from the very beginning, push your space bar. After this, questions about your medical history. Fill them out to the best of your ability. If you fail this test, it does not mean you have a concussion. It means you did not read the instructions. So this is not a bypass on instructions. Please read them completely. When you're done with this video, you should be ready to take the test. Do your best. See Mr. Holiday or I when you're done.